Om. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां. We are looking at what happens to the jiva, the soul, after death. Where does he go? And we saw that he can go into any of the wombs depending upon his karma and jnana. What do you mean by karma and jnana? Karma and jnana, another way to put it is your thought and your feelings. If you put it together, the more the intensity of the feeling towards a thought, it will create an impression, and that impression will become the impetus for your next birth. So you find out where have you majorly, intensely, emotionally invested yourself. And if it is not the divine, then bring the shift about in your life. Otherwise, the scripture is saying this is going to be the result. So correct your course of life at this time. It will not happen at the last minute. It will not happen with the last breath. Yoni manye prapadyante sharirattvaya dehinaha sthanu manye nusanyanti yatha karma yatha shrutam. This is what we are talking about. So who are these souls? Which are these jivas? These souls or jivas are those which have not been liberated, and as a result they enter into different wombs of different species. And for why do they enter into different species? To satisfy their desires, whatever they had intensely got identified with. Some thought, husband is a thought, wife is a thought, woman is a thought, God is a thought, heaven is a thought, I'm not good enough is a thought, I'm lucky is a thought. Everything is thought in your life. Whatever you can experience, it is a thought. Waking, deep sleep and dream also is a thought. That space which you cannot see is also a thought. That blueness of the sky which you can't see is also a thought. Where are we hooked on? That only you can work it out. Only you can work it out. And how will you work it out? You slow yourself down. You focus on yourself. As the mind slows down, in that quietened mind, in that mind where the momentum of the thoughts has reduced, in that type of mind, automatically these things become available for cognition, provided you do not go into fear and misery. That I'm losing my mind, I am not able to sleep at night, I don't want to go. Someone told me just now, Swamiji, my daughter, she cannot go to sleep at night. She gets nightmares every night. So she needs to sleep with someone. Someone else must be there in the bed. Then she feels safe. And how old is she? 24, 25. At this age, this is the state. So, and those who are very dull-witted, those who are sleep, nidra alasya pramad, sleep, inadvertence, and laziness and procrastination, such people, they enter into inert objects where they cannot express their consciousness. Just as space pervades not only the conscious beings but also the bricks and mortars. The space is pervading this light, this fan, this laptop. We can't see it, but every atom is nothing but 99.9999% space. That space is pervaded by consciousness. So, how much greater that consciousness is? And imagine, because of our foolishness, because of our wrong orientation of our mind, because of our thought fixations, because of our phobias, because of our self-pity, etc., etc. I can keep going, there's a big list. But you get the point. But because of all this, we get wrongly oriented. We are committing daylight sabotage of our happiness. See? Reality, even though it is the only constant, but as an individual who has a choice, who has the freedom to choose, what do you choose? You choose purity, you choose activity, or you choose laziness. And if you choose purity, you want, just by wishing, you want to realize it will not happen. You have to accept yourself as the ultimate. You have to lose yourself into it, where all the feelings and all the sensations cannot reach. But initially, instead of having those feelings and sensations for unwanted things in the world, let's direct them towards the truth. Let's pine for it with urgency, without losing our cool. Urgency doesn't mean we lose our cool. Without losing our cool. So in this manner, we told you that according to we don't know how many species are there in this world, in this universe, or on this earth. But the scriptures say 84 lakh yonis, and that the soul, the jiva, has to go through all these 84 lakh, meaning 84 lakh means 84 million, I think. We have to go through all those species, and then we come to a human being. Oh my God, so I have gone through all that. Yes, you have gone through. Don't waste the time now thinking about money, thinking about house, thinking about land, thinking about business, thinking about opposite sex, thinking about children, thinking about your partners. It's all waste of time, because this opportunity came. Otherwise, the God will say, "Are yaar, galti, I made a mistake. He will fix you again." That is one way of putting it. Actually, you will fix yourself only. So take the opportunity not to go backwards. If at all, go forward. Not go backwards. Going backwards means losing not getting into a human womb and getting into something else, or going into inertness. And then again the whole journey of God knows how many lives you have to go through in order to again come back to being the human being. And in this way, uh, our scriptures say that the last thought determines, and that last thought is the balance sheet. Is the balance sheet in the positive or it is in the negative? Good deeds, good thoughts, good memories, or bad thoughts, bad deeds, and bad memories. What have you invested in your daily life for the entire life? Where have you invested? That will determine what your last thought is going to be. You will not sit and calculate everything. It will get calculated automatically. And that where you have invested the most, that will be the last thought when the last breath leaves. So prepare. That preparation and uh, urgency to purify will only come about when you realize that, hey man, life is already passing. I got only this human birth. I don't know what's going to happen next to life because I don't know what I have invested in my life. So correct your course of action. And in this manner, the teacher says that uh, uh, that if we have done any karma, if we have done some action, if we have had feelings, sensations about any thought is gyan. Then there will be a fruit, there will be a karma phala. And you have to experience it either in this lifetime or in next lifetime. The smart way is that you remain a witness and let it die its own death in this lifetime. You don't know what's going to happen next life. So play the game of equanimity. Play the game of balanced mind. Neither for this, neither for that. Not excited because of things are going my way, not getting depressed because things are not going my way. Being calm in both victory and defeat. Not regretting anything in life and not expecting anything in life. No guilts, no expectations. Because they lead to anxiety if they are not fulfilled. Another memory will be formed otherwise. Guilt is stronger memory than expectations. Remain calm. If anything from the depths of your mind comes up, remain calm. Give it zero value. Let it die its own death. Don't go into self-pity. Oh, I should not have done that. I should not have done that. Why did I do that? Where you go thinking about it, it will suck you in. Play the game of witnessing. And this is the data that is being given in this verse, previous verse, and two verses before. So that we realize that the spirit, the self, the pure self, is other than the body. Body is that which takes birth, grows, disease, decay, and death. You have never experienced that in your life till now. Whenever you say there was a birth, disease, decay, and death, it is about something. It can be an emotion, it can be a thought, it can be a memory, it can be this body. The childhood body came, it went away, teenage body came, went away, youthful body has come, it is going away. But it is never about the self. Consciousness never comes and consciousness never goes. Continuing, we come to the 8th verse now. य एषु सुप्तेषु जागर्ति य एष सुप्तेषु जागर्ति कामं कामं पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः कामं कामं पुरुषो निर्मिमाण मामणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेवामृतमुच्यते तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाश्रिताः सर्वे तस्मिन् लोकाश्रिताः सर्वे तदुनात्येति कश्चन तदुनात्येति कश्चन एतद्वै तत् एतद्वै तत् टुगेदर य एष सुप्तेषु जागर्ति कामं कामं पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाश्रिताः सर्वे तदुनात्येति कश्चन एतद्वै तत् So here it says, when the prana, etc. What is prana, etc.? When the subject, object, the pranas, the mind, when all that go to sleep, that sleep means here what? We'll see.
Alert from no backups for 995 days.
At that time, when the pranas go to sleep, when do the pranas go to sleep? When do the pranas become unmanifest? What is that called? State called death. That is the death of the body. When the pranas go to sleep, meaning they do not manifest anymore. Because we don't have any experience during the waking dream, deep sleep, where the pranas become non-existent. So, when the pranas go to sleep, at that time the Purusha, the Jiva, the soul, what does it do? It goes away, goes with all the it goes imagining all the things that it had desired, all the things that were left unfulfilled in life, all those desires which were remaining unfulfilled in life, the soul goes imagining all of them, and that soul actually is the pure self. In essence, it is the pure self. So now you have to decide. So when we talk about the soul, because there is data in this world, just recently in Yahoo News you could see some person from last life who remembered her past life. So these are the many instances are there. One boy was there in India, he was born in some other city, and he was taken, and he knew which village, which house, he went in there. Now he's grown up, that fellow is there on YouTube, and he knows that this is my wife, previous birth wife. And he has, since he was young, he has been visiting his the previous life wife, and he knows where the photographs is, where he knows the layout of the rooms, he knows his uncles. See, he knows the color and the habits of his past life wife, who is still alive, or I don't know now. So there is some data, not one or two, many instances are there. So here question is, are we recognizing that we are the pure consciousness, the pure self, or are we identified? And so imagine, for that boy to find out his wife and the house, how much attached he must be to the family, how much attached he must be to his brothers and the house, that he took rebirth to search them out. That deep you can go into the matrix. Choose wisely. Take the red pill or the blue pill. And the essence of this soul is essentially nothing but the pure self. It is nothing but the infinite reality, the Brahman, and it is the immortal one, but behaving as if he is the mortal one, as if he is the desiring one, and therefore he because of his over investment in his desires, meaning the objects of the world, relationships of the world, imaginary states in this world, which he has not been able to completely satisfy himself, and therefore he keeps imagining and creates another world, and enters into another in that world he enters into another womb, so that he can fulfill the unfulfilled desires. But what is that soul actually? What is that woman actually? Nothing. What is that wife actually? The woman. What is that soul actually? The pure self, the infinite reality. Tadeva shukram tad brahma tad eva amrutam uchyate. It is said that it is of the nature of immortality. It is said, it is uchyate. It is said that it is of the nature of infinite reality. It is the infinite consciousness. Who? The one who is desiring. And with those desires goes to search for another womb. And who is this also? What is said? It is that the Brahman is that reality is that which is forgetting, in which the entire creation, past, present, future, waking, dream, deep sleep, the entire creation, even if you want to talk about the parallel creations, all of them exist in the consciousness that I am, the pure self that I am. The entire creation. Not only what you see at this moment, no, even whatever you don't see. It has not become available to you yet. Everything is a part of or exists in the Brahman. It is dependent on that conscious principle, that infinite reality. And nobody can change this principle. The whole creation being dependent on the conscious principle, the pure self, it cannot be any other way. The objects cannot exist on their own accord. Only because life is there, therefore the objects are there. Now you have to just understand, what are you calling life? Are you calling life as the Brahman, or the self that you are? Self and Brahman is one. Or you are coming down one level to call it to be. Why even call it? To be the witnessing consciousness, or coming down one further, you are the what do you call? You are accepting yourself to be the Atma in this body, and other Atmas I am not. I am not the consciousness in other bodies. Or come down even further, that you are the Jiva. So I'm just breaking that Jiva into two. That I am only in this body, I am not in other bodies. I should take it the other way. I am the Jiva. Come down one further, I am only in this body, I am not in other bodies. Go further down, fall further, this Jiva, I am only this. We said already that it is only this body. Now it has forgotten that it is the body also. Then what has he started imagining? I am the brother, sister, wife, son, etc., etc., etc. Further fall, the whole world is against me, and I am the poor one, the self-pity, and why nobody likes me. Break through all this. Break through all this. Here this Upanishad is clearly saying, Tadeva Shukram Tad Brahma Tad Eva Amrutamuchyate. You are of the nature of immortality. You are of the nature of purity. You are the one in whom the whole universe is existing. As Atma, not as individual. As the self. The pure self. And this fact, which has been declared by the Upanishads, which has been confirmed by the great saints and sages who have confirmed that what the Upanishads are saying is correct because they have directly realized it. There can be a sense, a doubt that, oh, it is only a book, it is only a word, how do I take this word and no, I need to. No, great saints and sages have confirmed what they are saying is correct, what the Upanishads are saying is correct. Tasmin lokashrita sarve tadunhatyeti kaschana etad vaitata. This is that reality which we are talking about, O Nachiket. This one. So don't select yourself to be the soul. If you accept yourself to be the soul, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, repeated births and deaths. Accept yourself to be the Tadeva Shukram Tad Brahma Tadeva Amrutamuchyate. Tadeva Amruta. Accept yourself to be the immortal one. It's only question of acceptance. The more we delay this acceptance about our own essential nature, the longer is the journey. Choose wisely.
Swamiji,
Ha.
what does Shukram mean in this
Purity.
context?
Purity.
Thank you so much. So pure self.
Pure self.
Pure Brahman.
Pure self, yes. Let's get into the. I'll check here what is it saying. Shukram is pure. य एष सुप्तेषु प्राणादिषु जागर्ति न स्वपिति. It is that we are talking about that self, we are talking about that pure self, that Shukra, that Brahman, that immortal principle. We are talking about that. What is that? It remains awake even after the breath stops functioning. It continues to. So whether you take yourself as the infinite self, it is continuous principle. If you are identified with something and consider yourself to be the soul, then at the time of death, the soul moves from one body, one womb to another womb, from this body to another womb. So where has the soul died? It is also continuing. So it is a continuous principle. Only thing is, soul is consciousness plus desires, unfinished desires. So therefore, there is desires have a momentum, and because he has not fulfilled them, so because he was identified with the body, he was identified with the desires, they are moving. So that momentum carries him from this body to another womb, depending upon the quality of the desire. The quality of your desire brought the momentum to leave everything and sit in front of the Zoom. Simple. Similar momentum. And you must have done that coming to the Zoom by default. Those who are listening regularly, you have come by default. You are not overly stressed about it. You are not. It is just part of your daily routine. Okay, it's time 7:30, 7:27, let's go there. Or from 7:15, your eyes are continuously looking at the clock, and as the 7:26, 7:27, 7:28 comes, immediately you put your Zoom on. And so what is that which is prompting all this sequence of events? Your attachment to satsang. It is sattvic, it is pure attachment. Similarly, the consciousness, just like your consciousness attached to this event or looking forward to this event, the consciousness at that once the breath stops functioning is looking forward to the unfinished desires to be fulfilled. So that momentum gets generated, and immediately the soul finds itself into another womb. Get this. This is a theory. Nothing like this happens in reality. Only relatively this is true. Katham, how is this? So when the pranas, when the breath becomes unmanifest, the self doesn't become unmanifest. When the breath goes to sleep, the self doesn't go to sleep. Na swapiti. Katham, how does he remain awake after the breath goes to sleep? It is said, kamam kamam tam tam abhipretam styadyartham avadhyaya nirmimanaha nishpadayan jagarti purushaha yaha tadeva shukram shubram shuddham tad brahma na anyad guhyam. Brahmasti. So he says, how he remains awake after the breath has gone. With regards to that, it is said that due to ignorance. How? Not because he is conscious. He is not. See, What is ignorance equal to? One way we say avidya kama karma. Ignorance leads to desires, desires lead to action. Also, what other expression you can put ignorance is equal to?
Delusion and illusion.
Okay, good, very good. Delusion within and illusion outside. What else? At the universal level, how does the ignorance express? Space time objectivity. Understand? And we take this to be so real. Space time and objectivity. See? They are only relative. You are the real one. So here it says that due to avidya, due to ignorance, by the power of ignorance, because of because of that, here what does it say? And by the power of ignorance, it keeps imagining the desired objects in itself and keeps moving in that direction, meaning the next womb. So the one who is desiring, the one who is, when the breaths stop, the one who is desiring to fulfill. Now tell me, where else do you fulfill your desires?
In the dream.
Yes. First place is in your waking state. Second place is in your dream. And dream, according to our scriptures, is all unfinished desires in the waking are being projected by the soul or by the consciousness, not consciousness, by the conditioned consciousness in the dream. So it's trying to empty itself, because purpose of the consciousness is to come back to itself, but we are not allowing it. By getting attached, by creating relationships, by intensely desiring something, we create a memory, and that memory keeps us in the loop of coming and going, and that fellow is trying to exhaust itself in the waking. It is possible to exhaust in the waking if you remain a witness, but we here also, I have to do it, I have to do this, I have to create that, I have to, and we create more memories. Then poor fellow tries to empty himself in the dream, but we have collected so much that he is not able to empty himself in the dream. And the momentum of dream becomes so great in the dream that he gets exhausted. All energy is used up, and when the all energy gets exhausted, he goes to sleep. But after sleep, again he gets refreshed. Now I can satisfy more desires in the waking. Arre yaar. See how foolishly we have got caught up in this whole cycle. Recognize, let everything go on, but remain a witness, undisturbed by anything. So he keeps imagining the various objects out of ignorance, and keeps materializing them, and that is how we have manifested this universe, projected this universe, so that we could satisfy our desires from last life. I must have had a great desire to teach Upanishads. You must have had great desire to listen to Upanishads. So nothing is impossible in this creation. So two things came together. Relatively speaking, there are no coincidences in this creation. Everything, it is perfect. that perfection, rather than say that out of ignorance I did this, out of ignorance you did that. We have seen before, it is the self alone playing the role of the teacher on one side and the student on one side and playing with itself. That is a better thought. But because we are in this explanation here, so we'll do justice to that. So actually it is Shukram Shubram Shuddham Tad Brahma Na Anyat Guhyam Brahmasmi Brahmasti Brahma Asti. So this one who was imagining and desiring and manifesting the world so that, and entering in that world, creating a womb so that he can take birth as in a particular form and then satisfy those desires, unfulfilled desires. That consciousness which was doing all this, it is actually what? It is Shukram, pure, Shubram, ever bright, clean, without any dirt on it. Shubram, Shuddham, pure, Tat Brahma, and that is Brahma. That which is Shukram, Shubram, Shuddham is Brahma. Na Anyad, it cannot be anything else. That which is pure, that which is bright, that which is clean, Nirmala, that is Brahman. That is the reality. That is the pure, infinite pure self. It cannot be anything else. Na Anyad Brahma. Na Anyad Guhyam. Other than it, there is no other secret. It is the ultimate secret, and that is you. It is the ultimate source, and that is you. It is the one without a second, that is you. So it is called as secret. Guhyam, na anyat guhyam brahma asti. There is no other reality more secretive than this. So you are the soul who is thinking of going into next birth, but actually you are the Shukram, Shuddham, Shubram. Unnecessarily losing yourself in feelings, in imaginations, in desires. Claim your right. Be that Brahman. Otherwise, there is no end to reincarnation. But for this, you require deep investigation into your own nature. Are you the changing one or are you the permanent one? That is Vivek, discrimination. You have to discover what is consciousness, what is mind, what is a thought, what is movement. If movement is taking place, is the mind moving? Is the consciousness moving? Discard every change. Come to the permanent one. Come to the unchanging one. For that, just by the way we come to listen to satsang, by the way we will understand. After listening, then we will revisit it. It will not happen. Very, very, very. Thoughts. The whole world you know only by way of thoughts. thoughts are superimposed on the mind. Mind is superimposed on the consciousness. Have we discovered that? Have we discovered that? That before the mind, during the mind, and after the mind, before the thought. So let's go this way. Before the thought, during the thought, after the thought, mind always is. Mind does not come and go with the thought, coming and going of the thought, isn't it? Mind continues to be mind. Have we thought this out ever? Go back one more step. Whether the mind is there or not there, consciousness continues to be. There is a waking mind, there is a dream mind, and there is an absence of both in deep sleep. But you continue to be. This requires a very sincere investigation. It doesn't happen, I feel like. No, it will not happen. We have to sit quiet with ourselves. And who are we? We are a mixture, a total mixed salad of consciousness and mind and thoughts and sensations and emotions and what not. We have not sorted ourselves out yet. If we have sorted ourselves out, we will be a sakshi in all situations. Very, very alert and vigilant that no precipitation of memory takes place. That's the best service you can do to yourself. No precipitation of memory. Live, find out whatever works for you, that no memory is created. And whatever memory is there, it will get exhausted in that witnessing. So this, this word, where are we? So this mixture of consciousness, mind, and the thoughts, and not knowing which one is me. Am I the thought? Am I the mind? Am I the consciousness? This also is not crystal clear to us. Am I the wife? Am I the husband? Am I the brother? Am I the son? Total confusion. Arey yaar, come back to be the man. Everything will be sorted out. Confusion is when you are away from yourself. This is called this superimposition, this mutual superimposition is called as ananya adhyas. Adhyas, superimposition. And in this way, when we start looking at it, start investigating it, like we are doing it right now in the satsang, with the support of the scripture, guidance of the scripture, then we are able to recognize the independent status of the consciousness that we are. And this has to be done while you are listening. This has to be done without stopping the mind. It has to be done while listening. But the quality of listening should be so what is the word?
Focused.
Huh?
Focused.
Focused. Mind is focused. Consciousness is not focused.
Sharp.
No sharp.
Single pointed focus.
All those qualities are of the mind. All those qualities are of the mind. Consciousness is independent by nature, free by nature. But only when we as an individual, with all the words that you have used, alertness, focus, single pointed, sharp, with that we investigate our three states, waking, dream and deep sleep. With no hurry, coolly. That am I the one who never sleeps, who is supporting the whole waking world but is independent of the waking world and the waker, who is supporting the dream world but independent of the dreamer, who is illuminating even the absence of both? This investigation has to happen while listening. What is that principle in whose presence hearing is taking place, understanding is taking place, formation of thoughts is taking place? If any doubt is coming or unclarity is coming, that is taking place. Who is illuminating all this? Is it Zoom? Who is illuminating? or is it me, the consciousness? Attention should not be out on the Zoom. Attention should be you are cutting through, sifting through the thoughts, sifting through the mind, and being the consciousness in whose presence everything is taking place. Everything meaning waking, dream and deep sleep. And we, in our scriptures, we don't divide the states into three states. For us, the states are waking, dream and deep sleep, isn't it? We say it so many times. Actually, it is only two. Dream and sleep. One is dream, the other is waking dream. This is also a dream, and when you go to sleep, that is also a dream. For your benefit, because you take it so real, we say waking dream. Okay, waking. We don't bring that word waking dream very often. Otherwise, an unprepared one will go crazy. Or I'll have no audience. Paga, is this mad fellow speaking? This comes only in Mandukya Upanishad, where the waking and dream is considered as one. What is that? Dream. One is the waking dream, the other is dream. The consciousness that I am, whether there is dream or there is no dream, whether there is projection or there is no projection, whether there is presence or there is absence, I am continuous. This way, tadeva amritam avinashi uchyate sarva shastreshu. All the shastras, all the scriptures say that the this amrit, this immortal principle, it is indestructible, avinashi. This is how it has been told in all the scriptures. Whether we take the main statements of Upanishad, aham brahmasmi, tvameva tat, or ayam atma brahma, or prajnanam brahma, or sarva khalvidam brahma, or ekameva dvitiya brahma. All of them, when they use the word Brahma, it means the indestructible principle, the unmoving principle, the unchanging principle. And that Brahma is you, or I should say, I. Is the self that I am. And we don't get tired of screaming our throats away of this statement. Never get tired. Because that is the truth. You also don't get tired listening. That's why you are coming for so many years. So when you are ignored at a relative level, when the jiva wants to enjoy listening, after realization also it will continue listening. Don't worry. This is Swami Uvacha. It's not written in the scriptures. Scriptures say we don't know what happens after he realizes. We cannot dictate how a realized person should function. That's their statement. So here he says, Kincha prithivyadayaha lokaha tasmin eva sarve brahmanya ashritaha sarvaloka karanat tvattasya tadu na atyeti kaschana ityadi purva vadeva. He says, not only that, in that Brahma, that in that infinite reality, in that pure self, infinite pure self, in that Brahman alone, all the earth and the various planes of existences exist. They are dependent on, we shouldn't say they exist in the Brahman, they are dependent on Brahman, we should say that. See, this exist and dependent, what is the difference? Did you catch that? Is a wave existing in the waters, or is the wave dependent on waters? I'm asking. And you have to give reason why, whatever answer you give. No, nobody will answer. Is a wave dependent on the ocean or water, or it's existing in water?
Neither. It's neither.
Explain whatever you are saying.
So it's water itself. It's
True, but you are looking at the wave, no?
Yeah.
So our question is, with whatever is the observation,
Yeah.
observation is there is a wave.
Yeah.
So when you investigate, is the wave existing in the water, or is the wave dependent on the water?
Well, in that case, both. It's existing and also dependent on the water.
Okay, so now here you have to be a little bit careful.
Okay.
There can be only one thing that can exist, that is existence, and that is
Yeah.
reality. And that reality is water. That what, if we say exists, water, the wave does not exist permanently, continuously. It is
No.
only temporarily there. So to that temporary phenomena, we have attributed the existence of the infinite waters. You understanding what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that wave, what is a wave? A phenomena which is existing as if, but actually it is nothing but water.
Yes.
So this appearance and disappearance of the wave, this manifestation and unmanifestation of the wave, in other words, the manifestation or unmanifestation of all the worlds, everything in the world, that waking, dream, deep sleep, or the various planes of existences. Now, are they dependent on the what consciousness, or are they existing in consciousness?
Existing in consciousness? No?
No, no.
Confusing myself.
We just said wave cannot exist in, wave is not existing
No.
in water.
No. Depended on.
Wave is appearing on water. Appearance can disappear also.
Correct.
When we say exist, existence is continuous principle. Wave is not a continuous principle. It is a temporary principle, temporary expression. So similarly, this body, this waking, dream, deep sleep, these different planes of experiences, they appear. They cannot appear independently.
No.
They happen to appear only in the presence of the consciousness, the pure consciousness. Just like the day and night, they appear. Therefore, they are dependent on the continuous sun. Without the sun, day and night have got no possible expression. Correct?
Yes.
So here, this is the investigation. So when we say existing, we have to be very clear. Is it either you use the word relatively speaking, or existence is always the infinite one, it's continuous, it's permanent existence. Sat Chit Anand, Sat is the existence, isn't it?
Correct.
So here we are looking at all the superimpositions, all the conditions of waking, dream, deep sleep, and the various worlds. They are ashrita, they are dependent. They cannot express themselves without the reality, without the consciousness. If the consciousness is not there, can the waker and the waking world appear? Not possible. In a dead man, we don't see a waker and a waking world, because consciousness is not there. It's not manifesting there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Similarly, dreamer and dream world is not there, because consciousness is not there. Now, when we say consciousness is, that means how can you say consciousness is not there? Consciousness is always there, but its ability to manifest as life has become depleted, because of the instrument is not capable enough to express that consciousness as life. Otherwise,
Yes.
you will go into another spiel of mind. See, so in this manner, here when it says Sarva Loka Karana Tvatasya, all the lokas are dependent on this infinite reality, infinite Brahman, tadu na atyeti kaschana ityadi purva deva, and nobody can refute this. Nobody can refute it. This statement of the scriptures. They and not only because nobody can refute this, the confidence with which the Shruti, the scripture says, or the Shankaracharya says, not the Shruti says, the Shankaracharya is saying that nobody can refute this is because of his conviction and his realization of what the Upanishad has said is true. Because Shankaracharya is not a Era Gara Nattu Gara, he is a realized master. He has written the commentary after realization. He is Lord Shiva himself manifested as Adi Shankaracharya. Was he knowing his reality when he was born? No, he was not knowing his reality. But he didn't leave any stone unturned to realize that he is the infinite one. That possibility is there with you and me also. But for that type of commitment is required. Not a part-time commitment, not a weekend commitment, not a Wednesday to Wednesday commitment. We must feel blessed that satsang is coming to us, me also, because I am also listening. But then rest of the day we must be continuously, intensely focused on what we have heard, on what we have become focused in the satsang, the continuity principle. If I am that continuous, I have to be that. Come what may, whatever work is going on. That time fear must not come, but then who will do this work? Leave it to him. It will happen. You will get the acumen, you will get the energy, you will get the creativity. The mind has immense potentiality. Why immense? Infinite potentiality. The self has infinite potentiality. We are using only 2 or 3% of it. And what is that 2-3%? It's called the mind. That potentiality is called the mind. We are using only 2-3% of it. When we become focused and our attention is on the infinite one, then the potentiality also starts expanding. And in that expanded potentiality, you are in the right place at the right time with the right people, in the right activity, with the right solutions, with the right creativity. Everything happens right. Not that there is nothing wrong. In that wrong also you will find right. Because you are being the witness. You are seeing the unfoldment take place. Unfoldment of how everything is perfect. Which the mind, attached mind, and identified with desires, such mind can never be available to that possibility. It has to become focused on the reality. Even though it knows it can never focus on reality, but it has to think of that. Then this potentiality in the mind starts getting inaugurated. And it's auspicious. It is non-binding because you are being the witness. This new way of functioning must be discovered. That will be the best present that you can give yourself before death. I'll add that. Okay. अनेक तार्किक कुबुद्धि विचाला विचालाद्धान्तः करणानां प्रमाणोपपन्नम् अप्यात्म अप्यात्मक एक अप्यात्म एकत्व विज्ञानम् असकृद उच्यमानम् अपि अनुजुबुद्धिनां ब्राह्मणानां चेतसि नाधीयत इति तत्प्रतिपादन आदरवती पुनः पुनराह श्रुतिः. Many, here the word anek means many, plenty. Tarkika buddhi, those argumentative critics. Tarkika buddhi is those people who employ their intellect only to find faults, only to see how it is not possible. Tarkika buddhi. And as a result of that, they are also very educated, but their attention is never on how it is possible to be the self. It is always about what if this happens. Yesterday someone SMS'd me, Swamiji, thinking about self is all right, because he was talking about some vasanas and everything, and I said, don't think of vasanas, you think of the self. If there is a snake on a rope, which is a typical Vedantic example, from snake's point of view, there is no rope. Or if you see a snake, there is no rope for you. And we can put it in another way. Without the presence of the snake, rope or snake cannot be seen, isn't it? If the rope is not there, snake will not be seen. If there is empty space in this room, oh, there is a snake here. There is no snake there because there is no rope. The substratum is required for the snake to appear. Water is required for the wave to appear. Consciousness is required for the individuality to appear. Vision is required for colors and forms to appear. Breath is required for hunger and thirst to appear. Sun is required for day and night to appear. See, and you can add as many examples as you want to that list. You need to have a substratum, foundation. That foundation is necessarily continuous without any break. Whether you see a snake or you don't see a snake, the truth is always there. The rope will always be there. Whether you see a wave or you don't see a wave, water will always be there. Whether you see an ornament or don't see an ornament, gold will always be there. But when we are not ready to be, and through these examples you can understand the permanency of gold, water, rope, mud, etc., etc. But these critics, they are incapable or find it very difficult to be subjective. They can understand the examples, but they cannot understand it on themselves. And question after question after question, and how it is not possible. Because I can see the gold, I can touch the gold, I can see the water, I can touch the water. A teacher comes and removes the snake for me, and I can see the rope, all the fear goes away. But when it comes to us, the teacher says, no, I cannot remove your mind. You have to remove your mind. You cannot experience the self objectively here. like those examples. And therefore, the birth of the critics comes about. Kubuddhi. Why? They find it very difficult to be subjective in their approach. And therefore, by this incessant arguments from them, these arguments are again, Shankaracharya has beautifully given it in our scriptures as the Charvakas, as the Sankhyas, as the Nyayas, as the Jain and the Bauddha. All these arguments. Charvakas believe what you see is what there is. There is no previous life or no next life. Khao piyo mauj karo aur mar jao. Jains believe that if the life is born, comes about as a result of atoms. When two atoms come together, then life comes about. Anu. Bauddha believe that the whole creation is existing in absence. Sankhyas believe that life is only is possible one per person. It is not a continuous principle. It is not one without a second. So each one, all these are arguments. All of them are incapable of realizing the Brahman, the infinite consciousness. The Sankhyas will come to the Atma, but they cannot realize that Atma is one without a second. Inside, outside, everything is Atma. That is impossible for them. Why? If I realize, others are not realized. Come touch my feet. If you are understanding, if you are getting the inkling of what is being told by the Upanishad, you feel blessed that by His grace, it's clicking. Such people who are argumentative and are critical of everything, they don't think straight. You need straightforwardness in life. Arjun was straightforward fellow. Nachiketa is straightforward. He is very clear. I'll make you the lord of the whole universe. He says, there was no batting of an eyelid also. He says, will that give me, by being the lord of the universe, will I come to know that by knowing which nothing else is to be known? Is that the truth which is beyond dharma and adharma? He's very clear, straight. He's not mincing words. He's very clear in his approach. No beating about the bush. Maybe, you have heard some people when they talk, what I was saying was, what was I going to say? He's not even told what he is going to say. He's already asking the question, what is he going to say? They can't, you must have all come across, they can't speak one sentence in one continuous flow. One sentence. 100 times. And they think that is a style of speaking. Someone brought me something to show. And I started inquiring, what is this? Something beautiful. How much is the cost of it? He didn't want to tell. Simple question, when did you buy it? What should be the answer? 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 1 year ago, 1 week ago, 1 day ago. Simple answer. As quickly the question came, that quickly the answer should come. But to tell that answer that it was 6 months ago or 7 months ago or 1 day ago, let me think. What is there to think? Don't you know when you buy it? When you bought it? ये ऐसे था कि मैं अबे यार हट। Such people, critical people are kubuddhi. There is no straight thinking. There is no simple thinking. Everything is complicated for them. Like some people are there, especially in Maharashtra we see, in Melbourne, whatever I have experienced, not everywhere. What is that? At the Aarti time, when the puja is done, then they say Sukharta, Dukharta, Vata, Vignachi, Nurvi, Purvi, Prem, Krupa, Jayachi. Then there is this Ganesh Aarti, then there is Durga Aarti, then there is Shiva Aarti, then there. And every time, if nobody has a book, they will miss the lines, they'll get confused. Every Aarti they will ask each other, what comes next, what comes next. Okay, instead take the book and read it, simple as that. Sort it out. Sort it out. Not 30, 40 years, we are still asking what comes after that. After listening to the Ramayana, you are asking, who is Ram? That is our condition. After studying the Upanishad, Swamiji, the self is not possible to be known. No, it is not possible to be known. You are getting an answer to your question. It's not possible to know it. No, it is not possible. Then we cannot know it. See the conclusion. Wrong conclusion. You asked a question, you got an answer because of you got the answer to your question. And what is the truth? As we saw in Kathopanishad, truth is that which if it is known, it is not known. If it is unknown, if it is not known, then it is known. And the student goes and meditates. I came to know. He says, then you don't know. Goes back. Again comes back. He says, I came to know. The teacher looks again, same statement that I came to know. No, I came to know that I don't know. I came to know that I don't know. But that does not mean that I don't know. I know that I don't know, but that one who knows both of them is that. The one who understands this, what I had just now said, the student says in Kathopanishad, he alone knows. He takes himself out of the equation. The teacher smiles, doesn't say anything. That smile is the acceptance. We can't get stuck anywhere. If you get stuck, means you have given acceptance to relativity. You have given acceptance to objectivity, which can be a thought also. All the thoughts need to be negotiated in such a way that we don't lose ourselves. Oh, already time. Good. So he whose intellect is not straightforward, such intellects, such critics, even when they are presented a foolproof logic of the scriptures that the truth is, the self is, the Brahman is. Here he says, even though they listen to it again and again, but they are unable to find themselves being established in it. These are the critics. So here we are not saying anyone, it has to be our. Are we a critic to everything that we are listening? Are we being such a person even after listening to satsangs on the Upanishad again and again? Our mind, or we, forget the mind, we do not settle in the consciousness as the consciousness in spite of the mind. Don't be a doubting Tom. Don't be a critical Tom. Kubuddhi. Therefore, in the conclusion, the scriptures talk about this again and again. Agnir yathaiko bhuvanam pravishto. Agnir yathaiko bhuvanam pravishto. Rupam rupam pratirupo babhuva. Rupam rupam pratirupo babhuva. Ekastatha sarvabhutantaratma. Ekastatha sarvabhutantaratma. Rupam rupam pratirupo bahishcha. Rupam rupam pratirupo bahishcha. Together. Agniryathayiko bhuvanam pravishto. Rupam rupam pratirupo babhuva. Ekastatha sarvabhutantaratma. Rupam rupam pratirupo bahishcha. We'll look at this 9th verse in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om.